what seemed like strict parenting, but was actually emotional abuse. For most of my life, I thought I just had strict parents. Rules were rules, right? No sleepovers, no social media, straight A's, or nothing. I thought they were just trying to protect me, push me to succeed. But the older I got, the more I realized this wasn't discipline. It was control. And what I mistook for tough love was actually emotional abuse. For the longest time, I believed my parents were just strict. That was the label I used. Strict. It sounded normal, acceptable even, something you'd hear in passing. Oh, my parents never let me do that either. But what I didn't realize was that their version of strict bled into something much darker. Growing up, my day was scheduled to the minute. Wake up at 5:30 a.m., practice violin for 90 minutes, study math, eat breakfast silently, go to school. Come back, no TV, no games, no phone, just homework and more music practice. If I scored less than 95% on anything, they'd make me rewrite the entire test 3 times, even if the teacher didn't ask for it. I was in 4th grade. I wasn't allowed to have friends over. I never went to a birthday party. They said, other. Kids are distractions. I didn't have a phone until I was 17, and even then, they monitored every call, every message. If I spoke too loudly on the phone, they'd accuse me of being rebellious or disrespectful. Once, I cried when my dad yelled at me in front of his friends for not knowing the answer to a random science question. Later, he told me, tears are manipulation. You're better than that. I started believing him. I stopped crying. For years. I told myself this was normal. Other kids had curfews. Other parents pushed their kids. Maybe I was just being too sensitive. Maybe I was weak. But when I left for college, it hit me. I didn't know how to make decisions. I couldn't order food without anxiety. I kept apologizing for things that weren't my fault. I didn't know how to say no. I had no sense of identity, because every single decision, what I wore, what I studied, who I talked to, had always been made for me. And worst of all, I felt guilty. I missed them. I wanted to call home every time I made a mistake. Not because I wanted their advice, but because I was afraid they'd find out some other way and accuse me of being ungrateful. It took therapy, supportive friends, and a lot of journaling to even call it what it was, emotional abuse. Strict parenting is bedtime rules, grades expectations, chores. What I experienced was constant fear, emotional manipulation, and control that extended into every fiber of who I was. It wasn't parenting, it was ownership disguised as love. Now I'm slowly healing. I'm learning that love doesn't come with conditions, that discipline isn't domination, that respect doesn't mean fear. If you're reading this and wondering whether your strict parents were something more, trust your gut, because love shouldn't leave you broken.